Hello, I still feel very awkward videoing myself, so you'll probably not be getting my vlog where I talk to the camera. But we are going on a scenic boat tour for the very first time with Journey, and it will definitely be interesting. Hi, Journey, say hi. Hi. You excited? Okay. 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 Jenny. Good girl. Hey. Jenny. Jenny. Hi.
Yeah, I went to totally different dog.
Did y'all see the Brazilian flag?
Yeah, is it? We were wondering.
I'm not sure why they have it. They're not Brazilian, but they've had that flag.
She looks excited. Oh, really? Oh, it's exciting.
An airplane.
She's been on airplanes. Amazing.
Vicky, party of two, and Linda, party of two.
Yeah.
Watch your feet here. Yep, one of those two over there. They're getting in the back.
Understood.
Go, party of three. Go.
Dogs. So every trainer had a dog, so the whole boat was full of dogs.
Oh boy.
You know, they were getting used to these types of things.
Oh yeah.
It was fun and games.
Does Oregon like being in the Lake Osceola, named after Chief Osceola from the Seminole Indian tribe, and we'll then be going into Lake Virginia and Lake Maitland. Over to our right, behind the trees, back in 1886, called the Seminole Hotel. At that time, they had views of both Lake Osceola and Lake Virginia. And it's also where President Teddy Roosevelt and President Grover Cleveland had stayed. Unfortunately, in 1902, they had a big fire that burned it to the ground. He did on the property there just behind the museum. Although at that by the loggers, so they could float their trees to Lake Virginia where they have their sawmill. And we're now entering Jurassic Park. The big pine tree coming up on our left is over 100 years old. We used to have quite a few pines on the lakes, but they used a lot of those building Winter Park. We're going tree branches going across the canal have a fern growing on them. Looks like it's dried up and dead right now, but as soon as it rains, it... This is Lake Virginia. The bell tower over Chapel a few times for the students. Genius Canal was the Genius Estate. They had 200 plus acres and grew orange trees there. This home to our left originally was just the center part of the home. At that time, it was the Winter Park Businessmen's Clubhouse. Privately, it sold about 5 years ago, and the sellers are the ones that put the additions on either side. They sold it to the youngest billionaire. He was 27 when he bought it. Both Siri and Alexa said it was true. Actually, Henry Ford came down for a winter vacation, heard about them stuffing the mattresses, thought it would be great for his car seat, so he shipped a few train car loads back up north, and months later regretted his decision. I've always thought I'd like to retire in this little boathouse coming up on my right, grab my fishing pole, a beer, jump in my boat, and off I'd go. I'd bring my wife, of course, can't be drinking and driving. My wife Sally and I, we celebrated our 50th wedding anniversary. I think it's going to work. Well, thank you. The tree above the bridge on the other side is a golden rain tree. All the red leaves in it are from a bougainvillea vine running throughout the tree.
It's on this corner.
Watch your hips. The big live oak tree coming up on our left with all the Spanish moss in it. That live oak's over 250 years old. If you look to your left, you can see the base of it. The live oak trees, cypress trees, and palm trees are the three that make it through the hurricanes the best. This is bamboo coming up on our left. Reminds me of the old cane fishing poles we used at my grandparents up in North Carolina. And coming up on our left is a much larger bamboo. They still use this in some countries to make scaffolding with. It's very sturdy and strong. These are cypress knees in the water to our right, part of the cypress. The row of bushes that was originally built for the Walgreens Corporation, Walgreens Drugs, but then of course CVS Drugs moved in next door. Well, then in the 80s they brought trappers in that took most of the gators out and moved them north of us about 25 miles to a lake called Lake Jessup. To kind of put it into perspective, this home in front of us with the orange roof is 7,000 square feet. Look at the waterfall coming down from the second story. It goes down into their swimming pool.
Down at the top
Looks like it's coming out of the faucet from. These are orchids hanging in the trees to our right. And if you look, you'll see Boo Boo the bear up there. Hey, Boo Boo. The bushes coming up on our right are full of thorns, so you don't want to reach in there. Didn't realize people were doing that until I heard the ouches. There's Mickey Mouse on the porch to our left. Just saved you hundreds of dollars. Since they put that up there, I was thinking back when I'm pretty sure it was either $7.95 or $8.95 to go to Disney. Talking about dollars, not hundreds of dollars. 2022, the water in the canal was up over 2.5 feet. We were good. In fact, at our boathouse where you bought your tickets, we had 2 feet of water inside of it. Hurricane Ian's not the worst hurricane I've been in since the early 70s, but it did drop the most water on us. Perfect spot to be for it. Lube them up.
So they have to turn the boat like this.
Sometimes they just stare. We go in 3 lakes. There's 6 lakes that are you can get to by boat, and then there's 9 more lakes that flow into our lakes, but they're more like little creeks. Over to our right, behind the cypress on the lake, bring a picnic, fishing pole, and there's areas you can put kayaks, canoes, or paddles. The young couple that live there now also bought the home next door and tore it down and made that big yard for their children. The building to the right of the yard is the old Alabama Hotel, built in 1921, and it's where Margaret Mitchell wrote the last few chapters of Gone with the Wind. The decorations of their races will send a few boats over, pick up their parents and other spectators, and they're able to watch a few races by boat. And from there it goes up to Jacksonville and out to the Atlantic Ocean. The St. John. I hadn't seen him in a little bit. If you look on the side of this boat, not least Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. He was a music major, brought his baby grand piano down with him, realized it wasn't going to fit in his dorm, so he called his parents up to see what he should do with it. Mom and Dad came down and bought this red brick house to our right, and that's where Mr. Rogers, an ordained Presbyterian minister. This new home coming up on our right, they just added a duct to it. I don't know what it's made out of, but they actually had a crane put it up there. They also have a tubular slide that goes down into the swimming pool. For weddings at different venues. If you go on YouTube and put in Papin House, you can see footage of them moving it across the lake. Glad you stepped.
Thanks so much, Craig.
Sir.
Thank you. Where? Oh, I see.